Now, before we take your return filing, all the different types of returns and their explanation, let us try to understand something basic about your basics of your return filing, which deals with your portal. Please understand that in terms of section 146, government on recommendation of GST Council has got something called as GST portal. Common Goods and Service Tax electronic portal. Common Goods and Service Tax electronic portal. Now you may ask, what is so special when you talk about Common Goods and Service Tax electronic portal? Gone are the days where each state will have their own website for each portal. Now whether you are sitting in Maharashtra or Delhi or Tamil Nadu or Jammu and Kashmir, every one of us will use the same website, same portal. We'll use the same website or same portal. Before GST started, each state had their own portal for VAT law. For their VAT law. For Central Exchange, there was a separate portal. Central Exchange and Service Tax, there was a separate portal. Right. But it was a common portal because it was controlled by central government. But per se, if you see a taxpayer, he will be generally paying VAT. So he has to have a separate portal. If a company is working in Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu VAT will be separate and Maharashtra VAT will be separate, and they'll be having two separate portals. Law itself will be different, therefore portal obviously will be different. Now you have a common law, therefore a common goods and service tax portal. Now when GST started, there was only one common portal, which was www.gst.gov.in. So when GST started on 1st of July 2017, how many portals were there? Common portal was there? Only one, www.gst.gov.in, which is managed by your GST network. GST network, which is a section 8 company as per your Companies Act 2013. It is a section 8 company, GST network. Right. Now, when you talk about the later part of the story, somewhere in the Feb month of year 2018 until May 2018. So from Feb 2018, they plan to bring in your e-way bill. They initially thought that they will be successful in bringing e-way bill on the common portal. They tried it, portal crashed. Portal crashed. It is not only that your Flipkart or Amazon portal will crash. GST has also experienced it. So GST portal did not work. So they planned to bring your e-way bill from somewhere around February 2018, but it was not successful. Then they started slowly from few states in April and few states in May. Tamil Nadu, it was somewhere in May 2018 that we started your e-way bill. Why? Because they realized that e-way bill transactions are very high. Every company will have regular sales. It is not like you are filing your monthly return, which will be done by every company only once. Correct? Each day there will be lots of transactions, crores and crores of transactions across India, which cannot be managed by this single portal. So welcome to the second portal which they brought, which was e-way bill portal. www.ewaybillgst.gov.in. But this time this portal was managed by National Informatics Center. National Informatics Center, which is under Ministry of Information Technology, Government of India. Right, Communication and Information Technology, Government of India. It is a particular department of government, National Informatics Center. GST network is a company, whereas National Informatics Center is a department of government. Now, what work your normal GST portal does? Your normal GST portal, which is www.gst.gov.in, will do all the basic works, right, starting from taking registration, paying the taxes, filing the returns, computation and settlement of IGST, which I said which will happen the back end. IGST fully does not belongs to central government. Part of the revenue will be taken by the central government and part will be given to the states where the goods or services are consumed, destination states, right, and other functions. Now they have also added and any other functions. When they use the term any other functions, that's a particular purpose. Be it appeals, be it your show cause notice, be it your show cause notice converted to demand order, be it appeals, etc., etc. They are also handled by the normal portal. So initially they said that it is registration, payment, return filing, computation and settlement of your IGST. Any other function means normal any other work, right? Starting from giving the notice, giving the intimation, passing the order, challenging it in appeals, etc. Everything will happen on your normal portal, www.gst.gov.in. What will happen then in e-waybill portal? What will happen then in e-waybill portal? Only and only generation of e-waybill. Only and only generation of e-waybill. So initially they came up with your normal portal, then they came up with your e-waybill portal, and finally sometime later, right, in 2020 they thought that let us bring also e-invoicing. Let every taxpayer, not every taxpayer, there is a limit, right? Let them raise invoice on their system, simultaneously let the invoice be recorded on government portal, which you call it as e-invoice. E-invoice. www.einvoice1.gst.gov.in. For e-invoice, how many portals they have? 10. Right, starting from www.einvoice1.gst.gov.in till the number 10. Finally, you'll have www.einvoice10.gst.gov.in. Understand that if you want to directly generate e-invoice, we'll go to the first portal. Balance 9 portals generally. Normally, if you log into that site, you will not get anything. Why? Because they will be used by someone called as your GST Suvidha providers. Supposing you are using Tally, example, when you are using Tally, you can actually generate e-waybill as well as e-invoice automatically. How? Tally from the back end will talk to GST portal. So normally that website number 2 to 10 is reserved for those GST Suvidha providers, because maximum category you will generate e-invoicing or e-waybill directly from the software that you are using for raising the invoice. Very rarely you will have an invoice and then suddenly separately you will go to the portal and separately generate e-waybill, separately generate e-invoice. Very rarely. Normally what you will do, whatever accounting software you are using will be used also for generating e-invoice as well as e-waybill. Are we clear with this understanding? That is the third portal. So now when I ask you how many common portals are there in GST, what should we answer? 3. They started with the main basic portal, which is doing a lot of functions. Rather, the main basic portal does everything apart from e-invoicing and e-waybill. The main basic portal does everything apart from e-invoicing and e-waybill. Then you launched your e-waybill portal. Then finally you launched your e-invoice portal. So last category was your e-invoice portal. This e-invoice portal is also managed by your GST network. So main portal, GST network. E-invoice portal, GST network. But e-waybill portal is managed by National Informatics Center. National Informatics Center, NIC, which is under Ministry of Information Technology, Government of India. Now, what is GST network? I guess I have said a lot about it. GST network is a company which is incorporated under Section 8 of Companies Act, and understand that it is having a common and shared information technology infrastructure. When I tell why it is actually called as common portal, understand that whether it is government or taxpayer, everyone will talk only on that portal. Not only government taxpayer, rather I will tell the exact thing, right? Starting from taxpayer to the tax professional, to the tax officer, that is you are talking about department, to the higher officials of department, to the government who is managing the statistics, to the bank authorities, to other reporting authorities. When data is shared from GST portal to income tax portal, everyone is talking only on the same portal. Everyone is taking the information and giving the information to the same portal. Beautiful for those who understand statistics. Beautiful for those who understand a bit of statistics. Government can play with the statistics, the in amount of information that they have on that common portal. They know which business is having what margin, which business is having, why they take HSN? Because they want to know which product is contributing to more to the economy and less to the economy. They have all the data available on the common portal.
So what's a special purpose vehicle?
The special purpose vehicle, it was a special company. Right. Initially when GST network was launched, 51% was by government, then 49% was with bank. Right. Slowly now banks are reducing their shareholding pattern. And government is trying to occupy much. A special understanding was a special purpose vehicle is always there for an understanding where you are forming something new where government, public-private partnership. It was not only government. It was not only government, banks were also having a stake. Now, even now they are having, but they are slowly reducing their stake. Common portals, how many common portals are there? We have discussed. The main portal and the e-invoice portal are managed by GST network. You will not find the e-way bill portal here. Why? E-way bill portal is managed by National Informatics Center. What are the primary work of the main portal? The primary work is to make sure that assessee gets registration for payment, for return filing and for e-invoicing. This is the primary work. It doesn't mean that other work will not be done. Rather, in your main portal, you do everything there. Other than e-way bill and e-invoicing, everything is done on your main portal. Now, comes a scenario where you are talking about, sometime above we are talking about Tally or some other software companies being something, a support system called as GST Suvidha providers. GST Suvidha providers. Now, what is this GST Suvidha providers? Government realized that for making GST successful, right, fintech companies and information technology companies should come forward. And contribute it. So, government what they did, they selected certain information technology companies and financial technology companies, and they said that if you meet these criteria, you can apply yourself as GST Suvidha providers. The criteria were very, very high, but if you meet these criteria, you can call yourself as GST Suvidha provider. Now, you may ask, what is the benefit that you will have when you have GST Suvidha provider? One way that an assessee or a taxpayer can talk to the portal is directly log onto the website and talk to the portal. The other way, taxpayer may never see the portal. The other way, taxpayer will give his information to GST Suvidha provider, who in turn will talk to the portal. Right, so that communication becomes easier. Be it e-way bill, be it e-invoicing, be it filing of your returns, be it reconciliation. Till that extent they can go. You need not even go to the portal. That particular GST Suvidha provider has the capacity to talk to the portal from the back end. So that was the birth of your GST Suvidha provider, so that you are allowing a third party service provider talking to the GST portal, who can make the compliance work of the assessee easy, isn't it? A third party service provider who will talk to the portal, who is going to make the life of assessee easy, because compliance work will be managed by your GST Suvidha providers. Now, later on, they also realize that not all the companies will be eligible for GST Suvidha providers. Not every company can be calling itself as GST Suvidha providers, GSP. We call it as GSP. Therefore, there became the birth of your ASP, Application Suvidha Provider, ASP. Now, what ASP will do? ASP will connect the taxpayer with GSP. Now to give a very practical example, next time when you walk into a restaurant, just see that. Normally when you see a restaurant, nowadays you'll have every restaurant when they're taking orders, they'll come with POS, point of sale machine. POS machine. They'll take the orders. That is nothing but an application, one of the application service provider. It is nothing but a basic application service provider. Do you think that that particular restaurant or the company will have its entire accounts in this ASP? No. No. That will have only the sales information. Only the sales information. That information will go and sit in your GSP. And GSP will have other information. Which will then talk to the portal. So now you are having a taxpayer who has certain information only and only on your ASP and certain information on your GSP. So this taxpayer is having certain information in ASP, certain information in GSP. So give you a very basic example, sales information in ASP, all the other information, the purchases, expenses, capital goods, all the other information is there in GSP. Now, part of the information is not available with GSP. So who will talk to whom? ASP will talk to the GSP. Finally, when it is talking to the portal, who will talk to the portal? GSP. If I were to tell this in a different way, taxpayer to portal. Second scenario, you are talking about taxpayer to GSP to portal. And the third way, you are talking about taxpayer to ASP as well as to GSP, finally to portal. So, one way of communication, second way of communication, third way of communication will involve ASP passing on the information to GSP, then GSP is talking to the portal. Right, these are all the ways where you can go. Now one may wonder, why to go for ASP? Why to go for your ASP? ASP as well as GSP will help you in doing all the works which you may not have as an independent accounting software. So it will not only help you to talk to the portal, but also upload the invoice, generate e-bill, e-invoicing, filing of returns. Just now I said all these points. It will help you to maintain your accounts. In addition to it, generate e-bill, generate e-invoice, file the returns, prepare the reconciliation. Everything will be done, and they might have a customized product. If at all you go to Tally and tell that these are my requirements, Tally will customize your requirement. It's not only Tally, any other software company that you go and you tell that this is my requirement, they'll customize the product for you. Therefore, your life becomes very easy when you talk to the portal via ASP and GSP. Because not only you are complying with GST, but also your books are maintained. Not only you are complying with GST law, but also your books are maintained. So that is the reason why you take the help of GSP or ASP. Now, talking about certain other areas where we'll be focusing now, small points. When you talk about your return filing, please understand that return can be filed only via common portal, which is only online. There is no concept of offline return. Only when you log on to the portal you can file your return. Whether directly or through facilitation center, that is a different part of the story. But it is only possible online. It's just like your challan. You can generate only online because you have to log on to the portal. Correct? And also understand that any communication that you have on the portal, not only your return filing, any communication that you have on the portal, be it return filing, be it appeals, be it reply to the notice, everything generally will be e-signed. is there are certain things that you can upload it, but normally portal tells that whatever information you submit should be verified. Should be verified. Now verification is either by way of digital signature. Please remove this point. This is no more there. No more there. Please remove this point. It is not mandatory for companies and LLP. Even companies and LLP can go for electronic verification code. Please remove this point. Near digital signature certificate, what is mentioned is mandatory. Remove that point. It is not mandatory. Either you can e-verify the returns or any other document that you file on the portal by way of digital signature certificate, or something called as electronic verification code, which will send one-time password on your registered mobile number and mail ID. That is theoretically something called as e-signature. Theoretically, there is something called as it is similar to your EVC. Theoretically, practically, as of now, they have not tested. Theoretically, something called as e-signature, where OTP will go to your Aadhaar-based number. Whatever number you have given on the Aadhaar, that OTP will go there. So, as of now, normal practice is what? It is either digital signature certificate or electronic verification code. DSC or EVC. DSC or EVC. Even companies or LLP can go for EVC. There was a time where companies and LLP has to only verify the returns or any other document that you submit on portal via digital signature certificate. But today, whether it is company or LLP or anyone, either you can e-sign or e-verify the transaction on which is updated on return via DSC or via EVC. Either via digital signature certificate or via electronic verification code. Now, one more point, common point that we are going to see in each of the return is, once you file the return, you cannot revise it. You cannot revise it. Revision is not at all possible. Rectification is possible, which will be seeing it in the month in which error is noticed in amendment tables. Rectification is possible. You cannot revise it. Supposing there was a transaction of April which I missed in April, I realized that in December. Can I revise my April month return? No. In which month I have noticed that error or omission? In the month of December. I can report it in December and make it correct. Depending on if at all I have missed it, I will add it in December. If I have doubly shown it, I will remove it in December. So I can rectify in the month in which I have noticed the error or omission. See, either there can be only two types of mistakes. One omission, I did not report it. One error, I have wrongly reported it. Either I did not report a transaction or I wrongly reported a transaction. You cannot revise any return. GST portal will not allow you to revise the return. So a return of April month, if filed, even though it is with some mistakes, I cannot revise my April month return. But if I am aware of those mistakes in the month of December, I can rectify the errors of April while filing December month return. Rectification is allowed, revision is not allowed. Rectification is allowed, revision is not allowed. Now, there is something called as information return. The last small aspect, which is information return section 150. It is, I think, very similar to your annual information statement that you have in your income tax. Now, what is this information return? Specified persons are required to file this information return, be it the taxpayer or your government, that is central government, state government, local authority, or your income tax authority, or your bank, or your electricity board, or registrar. Now when you talk about registrar, either the registrar is under your Registrar Act or Companies Act or Motor Vehicles Act. Normal registrar under Registrar Act or registrar under Companies Act or Motor Vehicles Act, or you are talking about collector under Right to Fair Compensation and Transparency and Land Acquisition Act. Collector in case of Land Acquisition Act. Or depository. You're talking about your share market, there will be something called as depository. Or your stock exchange. Or RBI officer or GST network himself. This information is given by GST network themselves or international bodies having UIN number or any other person. If you look at these bodies, you will find that they are all the bodies who will have various information of yours. Isn't it? If you look at all these bodies, you need not by heart it and all. If you look at the names itself, you will find that okay, these people will have certain basic information about the assessee. They are basically required to file information return. If the return is found to be defective, proper officer will intimate the defect and give an opportunity to rectify it within 30 days plus extension. And within that time, if you rectify it, well and good. If not, it is treated as you have not at all filed the return. These notified people will file the information return. When they file it, if it is proper, well and good. If it is defective, you will get an information rectified within 30 days plus extension. If rectified, no worries. If not rectified, it is treated as good as they have not filed their information return. If they fail to furnish the return, right, there will be a notice which is going to be served by the proper officer, which will ask them to file the return within 90 days, failing to which there will be a penalty which is under section 123 of rupees 100 per day subject to maximum of 5,000. Rupees 100 per day subject to maximum penalty of CGST is 5,000, maximum penalty of SGST is 5,000. It shall be payable. If you are filing it on time, everything is right, no worries. If you are filing it filing it but there's a defect, you will be intimated, the defect will be intimated to you, rectified within 30 days plus extension. If done, nothing. If not done, it is treated as good as you have not at all filed the information return. If you don't file it, still you will get a notice. An officer will tell you to file within 90 days. You file the same, otherwise there will be a penalty of rupees 100 per day subject to a maximum of 5,000. Each of them, which means CGST will be 100 per day or 5,000, whichever is lower. SGST will be 100 per day or 5,000, whichever is lower. That shall be payable. So this is all about your basics of return filing related to your portal.